Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. I have a very special announcement.
Whoa.
Being a professional all-star athlete is out.
Wow.
Pick up an Xbox. Why do all that work? Who wants to go to practice? Practice?
Well, I'll tell you who wants to go to practice. Our first guest, who's a professional athlete.
You're right.
Who now is going to beat your ass.
Yeah, you're damn right. I wish I would have asked him about this, actually. I would have said, why do all this work when you could just grab an Xbox? So we have a big story about gaming and athletes, and we're going to talk about that. And then we have a very special guest who likes to kick ass for a living. And if you're on video watching, he came on with a fucking weapon of some sort.
He came on with a weapon. His name is Arjun Balar, and he's a world champ MMA fighter. And he's freaking Indian.
And I'm going to tease something from the interview. He said he could beat Logan with one hand.
One hand.
One hand.
Easy. All right, and he tells a really great story about
That's a good match. Tie one hand behind his back.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe that's how the next phase, that's how it goes. Canelo Alvarez, Arjun, one hand.
Canelo with one hand.
Alvarez,
Can he beat Logan? What do you think?
With one hand? No, I don't think so.
One hand's hard. Though. You're just getting knocked in the face.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good. All right, well, really good episode. Lots of action. We're going to send you off into the weekend properly. Who is ready?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, we're back. Welcome to Group Chat.
Welcome to Group Chat, and we have a very special guest today.
He's carrying some sort of weapon?
Yeah, is that a weapon?
It is a war mace. It is. Absolutely. You guys are lucky we're doing this virtually, not in person, in case I got mad. You never know, you know?
A war mace means like you beat people with that?
It is. So let me explain to you. This is the mace of Hanuman, the god of wrestling in Indian culture. And it is gifted to the best wrestlers in traditional wrestling tournaments. And that's where I got it from. It stands for strength, righteousness, courage. That's what God of Hanuman, God of wrestling, Hanuman stood for. So this was actually a trophy given to me. But I walk out to with my fights, and I represent sort of that wrestling lineage. And if I need to, if the hands don't take care of business, then we got this too, you know?
Yeah, that's good. We're a big fan of weapons over here.
I'm trying to introduce a fighting league with weapons.
Yeah. Like Jake Paul versus somebody, and then you just like throw a bat in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah. And just see what happens. Or maybe a war mace.
War mace.
I love it. You know what? In Russia, they do these fights where guys are wearing knighted armor, and they're able to do an MMA fight, takedowns, punches, kicks, but they got swords and they got straight up chainmail and stuff, and it's crazy.
Wow. So maybe go to Russia.
That is kind of floating out there. It is out there.
Yeah, Dee has a very Russian sensibility when it comes to violence.
So, man, well, great to have you here. I mean, for us, especially Anna and I being Indians and basically pussies, it's nice to see someone.
Hey.
I mean, Anand, you said you've never been in a fight.
I saw Anand at Rumble a couple times.
Rumble where?
He's got hands.
Yeah,
I've never been in a fight. That's correct. I'm not a tough guy.
Yeah, that means you're a pussy.
Or it means I'm not a violent person.
Nah, it means you're a pussy.
Okay, you know what? Pussies is more entertaining, so we'll stick with that for the time.
Yes. But you are a world champion.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was about to say, you know what? Maybe he knows what he's going to do if he lets his hands fly, so he just stays out of it for the safety of the other individual.
Exactly. There you go. I like that.
Right.
I like
He's a dangerous weapon.
That
for
checks
sure.
out.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
He
you don't
left
know
his
him
war
that well.
mace
You just
at
got here. But you are a world champion MMA fighter. How does an Indian person end up in fighting?
It's crazy, huh? We're joking about that. We've got success as doctors and engineers and all that, and now we got someone as an MMA world champ. So how does that happen? My dad was a wrestler before this, and when the family immigrated from India, It was a sport he knew from the homeland, and he kept chasing it. He trained with the Olympic team here in Canada, and went back home and always competed. And those are my earliest childhood memories, was of my dad training and competing and that type of thing. So I chased that Olympic dream down myself, and then from there transitioned into MMA.
And so, MMA is pretty violent from what I've seen. What got you excited about MMA as opposed to staying in wrestling? I mean, I assume it's money, but was there something else to it?
There is that, obviously, but for me, it was a few things I liked. I'd been wrestling, like I said, since I was in diapers, since I was a little kid. I just started doing that, so I felt I had more to kind of. I wanted to experience more to give, more in me. Then growing up, just watching guys like Holyfield and Tyson and all these guys, Lennox Lewis and old school Ali. I've always been a big Ali fan. I thought, you know what? I can punch someone and I can do all that like these guys did, and also use my wrestling. So my whole life's work, I could still use that. So, and then, if I look at MMA, a lot of the champs you look at in any organization around the world, majority have a wrestling background. And I had personal connects with these guys. I trained with them, competed against them. And I'm looking around like there's no Indian out here. So not only that, I could do that, and I could make some history here. So, that was sort of the decision making.
That's amazing. So, my big question for you is, do you think you could beat Logan Paul up?
Man, these guys' names come in every conversation. Any combat-related conversation.
I mean, he's the champ, right? Isn't he the champ? I don't know.
You know what?
He's fought twice.
Yeah, I think he
absolutely.
just,
Yeah, and you know what? The recent fight with Mayweather, I gotta say, you know what? That was terrible for Mayweather. One of the greatest of all time wasn't able to put him away against the guy who's 0-0. So you know what? We're talking about them. These guys are doing something right, and to be honest, they got skills too. They're not just coming off the street.
Yeah.
To go in there and go the distance with a Mayweather, to go and now with a brother fighting Tyron Woodley, a former UFC champ. They got skills. End of the day, they're not just irregular guys. They don't even have to do that. They got a fan base, and no matter what, so you got props to them.
But what about I didn't hear you answer the question though.
If you had to fight them,
Well, at least he's got the weight. I just looked up. It says you're 236 pounds, right? So he's 40 pounds heavier than Logan.
With one hand.
There we go.
With one hand, yes.
No problem.
No war mace.
To answer your question,
In boxing or the
no war mace
octagon?
needed.
Do you think boxing rules?
It doesn't matter. Any which way he wants it.
I like it.
I like it.
Absolutely.
This is
Yeah,
good.
that's good. That's good stuff.
What do you think is?
Yeah.
What do you think is like? Look, everyone's into boxing, into fighting. Like it's the new thing, right? TikTokers versus YouTubers, the whole shebang. What do you think is the biggest misconception about trained fighters that everyone thinks they can jump in and just learn how to fight and become a boxer overnight? It seems like there's maybe a disconnect. I know there's a lot of like real boxers or real fighters are really upset about all this and mixed reviews. And what do you think is the biggest misconception that people are missing there?
Well, you know what? There's a few. First of all, you have to respect anyone that makes that walk and gets into a cage or a ring. Full stop. Mm-hmm. Your average person would not be able to take their shirt off and stand in front of millions of people like that without even getting in a fight. They wouldn't have the balls to walk out and do that. Let's just be honest. So these guys are so you have to respect that. Not only are they doing that, they're fighting and being exposed and vulnerable to the world for the world to see. But I guess the misconception, you know what? There's a business side to all of this. And you have to respect that in terms of the skills and what it takes to get in there. You have to respect the business end. And another part of all that, the sports and entertainment line is really being blurred. And I think that's in every aspect now with social media and kind of the way of the world. And I think, these guys have captured an audience. I'm there for it. And I'm a fighter. So it's entertaining. They're training. It's the real deal. You got to respect it.
Did you pay the $50 to watch the fight?
I do not. I get an illegal stream.
Keep it real. That's good.
I like that. So did you grow up fighting
like in high school?
Yeah, in high school,
Other
and
kids.
then you were like, screw it, let's just make a career out of it? Or how do you transition, or what made you want to do this?
Bro, I was always big for my age, and then I started winning like provincial titles, national titles, so I had a bit of a reputation. So people really didn't F with me, let's just say, right? But I'll tell you this: I had my first official, like you had little things here and there. My first official fight, you can call it the first mixed martial arts fight, was my grade 12 year. It was a big deal. I can set the stage for this because no one's even asked me this. So this could be like exclusive for your guys' podcast if you want me to tell the story.
Let's hear it.
Please.
Okay. So here it is. So I'm in grade 12. I'm multi-time national champ, provincial champ, supposed to be the big dog, all that kind of stuff. So we had a guy who transferred in. And he transferred in end of grade 11 year. So before that, I was sort of the alpha in the school, that type of thing so this guy comes in, he's a national judo champ. And he comes in and, me and him, we always eyeballing each other. He's a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight. We're both big boys. You got to see who the top dog of the school is. That's just the way it works. And then we were running what you call, we were running a fight club in high school. So we had like fights after school if anyone wanted to scrap.
Did you have to have?
We had a field that's called the Green Mile.
Did you have to have beef, or you guys just
go ahead.
sanction fights?
Both. Hey, it was if you got a problem with someone, you sorted out the fight club. That's it. Okay. We had a ref. My homie would wear a ref shirt with a pinstripes, and there'd be big crowds every time on the Green Mile after school during fight club. So and this one, even if there were beefs from other schools, it would happen. So anyhow, so this is going. I didn't know no one really had a beef with me or wanted to sort it out, that type of thing, and vice versa. But then this guy came through, and people started whispering. I wonder what would happen if these two fought. I wonder who you got a national champ wrestler, you got a national champ judo guy here, both big guys. I wonder who the baddest guy is, and and then so the guys are talking. Then the girls start talking, and that really tests you as a man. Then you guys, so people are whispering, right? And I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to figure this out. And then so a date was set. It was 1 week before graduation, and the date was set. Other people knew, other schools knew everything, and they're like, these two are gonna fight. So people from around the other schools showed up, and it was a big deal, man. It was a big deal, and I guess you can say it's my first mixed martial arts fight, right? So and it's high school, so you don't think everything's on the line. My whole legacy, and the big tough guy, and all that kind of stuff. So we fought, man. We had it, and I called my shot. I said, I was going to come in. I was going to hit him with an overhand right. I was going to take him down, beat him up, and that's exactly how it played out. I came in. There's a huge crowd. He had his side. He had his crew. I had my side, my crew. No one was to jump in, but my guys were ready in case shit popped off. And we jumped in. We took care of it, and then I'm jawing off his whole crew that was standing there. Man, you guys, So it was quite the scene, man. But that was my first real fight. It's my first MMA fight, really.
Wow. I mean, this is what we want to watch. As
This is
consumers.
Logan Paul before Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, this is we talk about on the podcast all the time that like people enjoy people fighting, and it doesn't have to be the best fighters in the world. Like if the kids in the office wanted to fight, we'd put up a ring and we'd enjoy watching it.
Yeah, don't go to HR, just fight it out.
Yeah,
Fight it out
what did
to
that
the
person
Green
say to
Mile.
you? Go over there and beat each other up.
Yeah.
Whoever wins.
But let me tell you, man, those are professional fights. This one, I kind of feel bad. Like, he's forever stained as that guy. Like, oh, you lost that fight. Like, everyone in the city, anyone that grabbed, and then I remember some of my guys that were there were bets being placed. They've had money on him. I remember those guys. I've never forgotten who put money on me way back then.
Oh my God.
It was high stakes, man. It was high stakes.
That's amazing.
And it's funny. That's when that Tom Hanks movie came out. Remember the Green Mile with the big black dude? He's passed away.
Yeah.
So that's why we called it the Green Mile, because you never knew who's going to come out. You know, we call that whole field what happened. Green Mile.
That's incredible. I could see how that moment in high school would cause you to like be like, this is what I'm gonna do for a living.
Yeah.
Like if you beat someone's ass in high school in front of a crowd and your reputation is solidified, you'd be like, all right, how do I dedicate my life to this?
Oh my God.
Just kicking ass.
It.
That's amazing. So what's next for you?
It was crazy. Even after the teachers were asking, they're like, "Hey, how did it go? Who won?" So it was cool. Absolutely.
Oh my
I got the bug from there.
Oh my God. So you just became the world champ of the one heavyweight at the one heavyweight world championship. What's next? Do you have to defend it now?
Yeah, you do. So I got this belt. I got it for life. And so that's mine. But every time you go fight, you're technically defending it. But if I win, I get another one and another one, etc. But before that happens, I have picked a fight with the pro wrestling industry. I cut a promo. I've been a lifelong pro wrestling fan. And we are picking a fight with those guys, WWE, AEW, and that's the way we're going. So we're sitting at the table with the pro wrestling guys, and I'm looking to jump into the squared circle as an MMA fighter and get a second belt over there, be the first to do both. No one's ever done that.
Wow. That's awesome. Wow. And so that'll you're hoping to do that this year then?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're actually engaged in high level talks. I want to fight at the same time as doing that. And then obviously the exit plan is to do that full time after. So we're just trying to figure that out and how we can go about that. But yeah, that's what it is. That's why I got the war mace. Yeah. We're going to smash these fools. They don't know what's coming, man.
Hey, I have a question. So we have a couple wrestlers who've become big time actors. Obviously The Rock, John Cena. You have a big personality. Is that next? So you go to here, WWE, then you are in Fast and Furious 12?
Yeah.
Fast and Furious Mumbai.
They're gonna be rolling around. They're gonna be rolling around the tuk-tuks.
It's gonna be going so slow. The Rock is just be like, the traffic is so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Man, that is, I'm managed by CAA. As you guys know, they're big in the industry. And that is definitely the plan. But until then, I'm gonna squeeze as much athletic abilities and passion and all that out of myself as possible. And then, you look at all those movies, you don't see no big badass Indian. So it's about time we start smashing guys on the big screen too.
I love it. Just learn Mandarin.
Yeah, learn it now. You might need to apologize.
I like that.
What about this weekend? There's a big fight. Israel Adesanya, Marvin Vettori. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. It's a great fight, It's a great fight. It's a rematch. I like Izzy. I like Israel. He's a killer on the inside. He got tested a few fights ago. Before that, he was so slick and so technically sharp. You never saw if he had that in him or not. And he was fighting a guy named Kelvin Gastelum at that time, Mexicano, and that guy pushed him. And it showed that he's got dog in him. I like that. He's got that fire. He's willing to go through anything to win. I think that's the guy. He's got the skills and he's got the insides. You can't pick against that guy. I like him a lot.
Oh,
great.
Well, amazing, man. You are a lot of fun to talk to. Being Indian, it's nice to see all the diversity in like different professions. And so congratulations to it. Yeah. I thought Gandhi told us not to fight, but I guess you didn't get that memo.
Hey, you can do this and be peaceful as long as you want. But unless you're able to go to war, you cannot have peace. So sometimes you just got to do it, baby.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That was a powerful way to end this. Well, thanks again. And hopefully when you're in LA, Drama's looking to start fighting some TikTok stars. So maybe you can train him.
Maybe you teach me some grappling.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you sharpened up. We'll have you ready. No worries, my man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
All right, on to some news.
Big news.
So today's when we do our winners, losers content, but I'm going to start off with a winner.
Big winner.
Ian Rogers and the fam over at Ledger just caught a bag.
A bag and a half.
A Bitcoin bag.
Big. Yeah, it's a digital bag.
Crypto bag.
Crypto bag. $380 million funding, valuing the company at $1.5 billion.
Put that on your ledger.
Did they just hand him a ledger for $380 million?
Here you go. Just keep it safe. Don't forget your 15 words.
Flipped over.
Yes.
$380 million.
Yeah.
Ian, where's the friends and family?
Ian, I mean,
Ian,
I feel like
our price went up.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about our deal now. I didn't know this new information. Congrats to those guys, man.
It's pretty interesting because, like, obviously everything with crypto, with Coinbase going public, everyone got really excited about the space, and it feels like the last year in crypto has been so big.
Yep.
And
Maybe not
there's
the
all
last
these other there's so
weeks.
many like peripheral businesses, right? Like
Yeah.
Ledger is the way to, it's the security, it's the safe of the crypto space. Then there's the Top Shots, and then there's the Coinbases, and there's the actual coins.
Come Rocket.
There's the Come Rockets.
Yeah.
And I just, it's such a big industry and a big opportunity. And, Pascal, their CEO, had a really good Twitter thread. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, it's actually really interesting, just talking about history of the company and things like that. But, they've sold 3 million ledgers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In 190 countries. That's
Yeah.
what I thought was the best stat.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of
190
ledgers.
countries?
I didn't even know there was that many
I think
countries.
there's like 220.
Agreed.
So
I didn't know
pretty-
there was that many people that knew about crypto.
I mean, it leads into our next topic really well because El Salvador announced earlier this week that Bitcoin is now legal tender in the country.
And what does that mean?
That means that they're putting El Salvador as a government is using some of their cash reserves and putting it in Bitcoin. That's what it really means. And, it's been suspected that you're going to see many countries do this in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every developing country, for the most part, will have exposure to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like
somehow,
South America
some way.
should be given...
So there's a list of actual politicians that are publicly advocating this. El Salvador was just one of the first countries, but in South America, a leading politician in Argentina, Brazil, all these places are like, we should be doing the same.
Yep.
Because you're in unstable governments, unstable currencies, unstable populations.
Yeah.
And there was two things that I always thought about when I first learned about Bitcoin in 2011 was that even if it was just the third world currency kind of way to move money for countries like Venezuela, North Korea, Iran, all these places, it's already a multi-trillion-dollar asset just with that.
Yeah.
It's separate from every application you could possibly think about crypto economy and cryptocurrencies and everything else we always talk about. So this is just the beginning. I would suspect you're going to see many countries announce in 2021 that they're going this route.
Yeah. I do got to say about crypto, I forgot, I got a message from my dad.
What's he saying?
Group chat cover page. Not a huge fan of laser eyes.
Wow.
Ooh.
What about taking yours, Dee's, and Anand's faces and making a Mount Rushmore look?
Ooh.
So, the older audience isn't necessarily... My dad obviously doesn't know it's a crypto thing.
I like Mount Rushmore better.
So just letting you know, I forgot to mention this and actually respond to him and tell him it was a good idea. But, the older crowd still has to adopt the culture
Yeah, the laser eyes.
of laser eyes.
Yeah.
Is
So,
your
but-
dad still sending you texts after episodes?
Every now and then, yeah. He goes through waves. He'll get more fired up about some things and then less on others. But because the reason I thought about that was was it El Salvador, one of like the first mayor or someone changed their actual
Yes.
display photo to
One of
laser
the
eyes.
politicians. did.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go to the moon, El Salvador. What if El Salvador just becomes the richest country in the world?
Your boy here,
Your
the new
boy?
guy.
Yes,
New guy
sir.
is El Salvadorian.
Yes, sir.
Props to you, man. Did you get any Bitcoin just dropped in your wallet?
Yeah, I got 3 Bitcoin in my wallet right now.
They should give everyone a stimmy.
That'd be great.
Bitcoin
If you-
stimmy.
Yeah. If you have, if you are up to third generation, you get a Bitcoin stimmy.
I don't know if he was the one with the laser eyes, but our president, or the Salvadorian president, is actually the youngest president in all of the Americas. He's 37.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's probably why
That
he's
would make
moving
sense
fast.
if he was laser eyed.
And you know what's interesting about a lot of the conversation I saw around this, a lot of people were putting it down because El Salvador is a small country, but I don't think people understand the significance of it.
Yeah, those people don't understand much.
Yeah.
In general.
If that's your take, like, 6 million people in El Salvador, who cares? It's a government making a decision that other governments are going to follow.
Yeah. If it ain't America, I don't care on it. Okay, well, in the realm of this sort of topic, can we get an update on all things meme stock? How are we to the moon? Are we at the moon? Did we arrive? Neil Armstrong?
It's called a crater.
We're in a crater.
Yeah.
Back here on Earth.
Yeah, we're back on.
Got it.
You know, what goes up must come down.
Came back
I don't know what happened. I thought all these things were going to keep going up.
I mean, you want to talk about volatility. Are we like back to like sort of like how far do we drop?
So I would say it's still above the baseline. So
Baseline being reality or baseline being like
reality,
a month ago?
Clover, let's just talk Clover.
Okay.
It was $7 last week.
Okay.
Then it got to 11 and then went up to 21 and now it's at 14.15.
Oh, great.
So we're still above.
We're still fine.
Yes.
Still on the way to the moon. We just had a slight engine failure.
Yeah.
Okay. I
still think these stocks, given now we've seen GameStop since January, I think it's like a wave. These guys are pretty smart. Like the Reddit crowd, like
They sold. They made money.
yeah, and
The
I
Reddit
think
crowd made money. They saw Clover at 2021 and they sold. And they're gonna
come back.
Yeah, they're gonna regroup.
yeah,
But don't you think the core Redditors are Diamond Hand and the
I don't
people
think
making it go up and down are exploiting the Diamond Hands?
if you're diamond hand on these stocks, because like if you own these stocks pre all this madness, I can understand diamond hands. If you're just jumping on a train, you should have paper hands.
So
But isn't if you short squeeze properly, the end payoff is much bigger if you Diamond Hand.
Yeah, but you need to know that there's enough institutions buying these stocks on the way up.
the problem also is funds get paid on carry.
Yeah.
So they have to sell to make profits to get paid on carry.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's like funds and stuff that are jumping on the wave, selling, making the profit. But if the actual strategy is let's find overshorted stocks and short squeeze them, that wasn't it. You got to go way farther than that. So I think people are like jumping on the train and taking advantage, right?
Yeah. And it's just to follow up from my conversation with my mom's money manager.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
So
Is there
today,
any update?
yeah, today they emailed me.
Emoji paper hands, you pussy.
No, we haven't sold. We're holding the line.
Yeah,
they sent me research reports saying how Clover's been downgraded by all these different firms. And
You're like, you don't get it.
yes,
Yeah. Look at the emojis.
I need to respond with the diamond hands.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You just need to say, trust me, the only thing you need to look at is diamond emoji, hand emoji.
yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, cool, man. I still when you look at GameStop, when you look at all these stocks compared to where they were, let's say last year,
Oh yeah, it's still way up.
way, way up. And I do think, I am not personally invested in any of them, but I do think there's a strategy. I don't know. I do think that if you invested in all of them today, this is not investment advice, blah, blah, blah. Longer term, like, I don't think these guys are going away.
No, they're not going away.
Like, I don't know that Clover is ever at $100, but I do think like they're not going to forget about it.
No, and look at the volume. The volume today was 153 million shares.
Yeah.
I mean, the other day was 700 million shares, so it's gone down. But like 153 million shares means no one's forgotten about it.
No one.
Yeah.
And even GameStop, after like, no one talks about GameStop anymore, like in pop culture. Like it's not a trend anymore,
And
but it's still
huge.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Apple, for reference, probably on a normal day, one of the most traded stocks, 70 million shares.
If someone came to me today and said, I want you'd invest in my fund. Our thesis is we comb Reddit.
Yep.
We pay attention to Reddit trends, and we invest only in Reddit stocks. I'd be very interested.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good strategy.
It's a great strategy.
Because there's going to be more of these.
And meet our chief investment officer. It's 17 years old.
Yeah, he's 17 years old. His favorite
He
fucking
speaks in
animal is
memes.
that Shiba Inu.
Yeah,
And
he speaks in
he
meme.
loves Mountain Dew. He's like, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Current residence, mom's basement.
Mom's basement. If you want to go for an investment committee, you show up to the basement and
Yeah.
you can talk to him.
There you go.
Eat Ma's Italian food, some
Yeah.
spaghetti.
Totally into it.
It's like, Mom, where's the meatloaf?
I would put some money there if that was offered to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's go back to a little bit more of, gosh, I want to call it reality, but maybe this isn't reality either. But what's going on in general as far as like inflation? You know, I know inflation is like the number one word, the number one thing we're scared of. Warren Buffett's scared of it. All the big dogs are scared of it. Ray Dalio has been having some real doomsday posts. Are we inflated? Are we deflated? How's our flated?
We are flated the fuck up.
We're flated up.
Yeah.
So everything's expensive.
Yes, everything's expensive.
Fuck.
And usually this metric is usually thrown off by energy prices and
Yeah.
food prices. But even when you extract that, everything has gone up.
You mean like Monster, Red Bull?
Monster, Red Bull.
Everything's up. It's also, we've talked about how there's just pent up demand. Everyone had savings from the last 15 months if you're employed, and everyone's spending like crazy. So demand is through the roof. Supply chains are getting disrupted. So we're not even getting stuff on time
At all.
for any industry.
By the way, like I just saw
Cars are insane.
insane. Yeah.
You can't even like find a car.
No.
Stockton's on fire.
Stockton's on
Stockton's on
fire.
fire.
Literally.
The stocks and Stockton. Maybe that's why. They should change the name to Stonkton.
And you can't even get
Oh my God.
It would blow
That
up.
would be like, if that's like the Reddit headquarters.
Yes, Stonkton. I'm into it.
By the way, you can't even get oat milk. Starbucks came out today and said there's a shortage of oat milk.
Well, good because Oatly's worth $85 billion.
But yeah, I mean, is there like I don't see an end in sight for this.
It's probably like
Does it crash though? The money runs out.
yeah,
right?
the money runs out. Savings run out.
I saw a
think
lot
it's
of
like,
states are ending their government assistance.
2
Not
weeks.
California, but a lot
I mean,
are.
but this also is a direct consequence of pumping $7 trillion into the economy.
I
And
say
then-
keep it coming.
American households made $2 trillion during the last year in the stock market. $2 trillion.
So there's inflation.
Yeah.
Let's go full make believe and just keep pumping.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why do we have to keep stopping?
I'm still unclear about why we.
No
have
one
to.
can explain it. You could get all these economists. They could tell you all this shit. They don't know anything.
The only thing I hear that makes any sense is eventually China calls us on our debt. Is that it?
Why?
That-
They want
if they
this.
stop buying the debt.
But why
'Cause-
would they
so
want to?
If they, Biden's got the infrastructure bill, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be somewhere between $1 trillion and $2 trillion.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between that. And you have to print money for that. What if China just says, nope, we don't want to buy that infrastructure bill?
Print it. Fire up the printers. Send everyone hard cash.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we printed this. It works, I guess. You can spend it places.
I mean, everything that you hear about, like what you would learn in school about printing money and inflation.
It all
like-
went out the window in the last 12 months.
Yeah, and
Remember
so
the
now we're
money doesn't grow on trees thing? Turns out
does.
it
It does.
does. And there's a lot of trees.
Yeah, there's a lot of endless. And the problem is like, so the only thing that can change is Federal Reserve comes out and starts raising interest rates. They would
Yes.
have to do that pretty soon.
People are baking that in, that it's going to happen.
If it's baked in already, then the party's never stopping.
I don't think anyone wants the party to stop.
Yeah.
I like partying.
Yeah.
I haven't been outside in a year. Give me a stimmy. Let's go
Yeah.
wild.
I talked to a pretty big retailer yesterday, one of the biggest, and they said that they are beating 2019 retail sales.
All retail is,
Yes.
2021 retail last month is beyond 2019 retail. Brick and mortar.
Brick
Forget
and-
e-commerce.
Double digit. This is one of the biggest double digit up from 2019.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not talking like they're not one of the ones that like you expect.
Yeah. I believe it.
Did you
How's
see
wood? Is wood still expensive?
lumber?
Yeah.
That
Hot.
meme where everyone was
Yeah, is that
carrying-
still on?
I think so.
Still
Why
the
not?
new gold?
Everything is.
Okay. Well, I got a couple 2x4s at home if anyone needs to bail out. All right. And then what about, we did talk about houses, and we talked a lot about actually Stockton and like these places where home sales and home prices are way up. And then we were kind of questioning, I don't know if you remember, we were questioning on that episode, like, where is the rush? It was all these like obscure places. It wasn't where you would think.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sort of wondering, like, where is the rush to move to these places coming from? Because it doesn't seem like, it's not like Austin, Texas, where like, oh, got it, like a bunch of people relocated during the year, and so home prices are up. It was, like I said, obscure places like Stockton. Do we have a little bit more info on why that might be happening?
Yeah, so basically, large funds are looking for yield. This is part of inflation. Everything's going up. You can't hold your money in cash.
Yep.
You have to have assets that generate income and generate yield. So they just keep going down the list. So stocks can only go up so much, right?
Really?
I didn't hear Dave Portnoy say that.
No.
It was just only go up.
Yeah.
So you have to have stocks, you have to have real estate, you have to have all these different assets, crypto, you name it, lumber.
Love it.
All of it. So
To the
they're
moon.
just expanding how to extract yield. So they're going and spending billions of dollars in these random towns in America
Mm-hmm.
and renting them out, single family homes, and trying to generate yield.
So they gave an example. This company, D.R. Horton in Conroe, Texas, built 124 houses, rented them out, and then put the whole community up for sale. And for someone bought the entire platform for $32 million, bought the entire the development for $32 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually came from Fundrise, which is like the crowdfunding investing platform,
Mm-hmm.
which manages more than $1 billion on behalf of 150,000 individuals. So it's like the money's coming from every which way. This is just individuals bought a $32 million development in Conroe, Texas. I don't even know where that is.
What do you do about then, on top of all of this, there is this problem of like wealth inequality
Yeah.
and all of these people completely out of this whole conversation. That feels to me insane. I said 2 years ago it felt crazy.
Yeah.
That was child's play compared to this.
Oh, this is going to be such a disaster when everything.
Who gets smoked here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So you have all these funds going to random cities where we know people aren't actually moving into.
Funds always win. Okay, so next, go down the line.
But the funds didn't win like in
2008.
08, but only
They
because
had one bad year, and then there was the biggest rip of all time.
true.
I mean,
They lost one
every
year,
fund
got
from
bailed out.
2008 was talking to one of my best friends who's in real estate. I'm like, this thesis just doesn't make sense. It's not like people that live in these cities had this massive income jump that they can afford higher rents.
Yeah.
Why? They could have been long Doge.
In Corona,
But aren't
Texas,
all you're doing is
Conroe.
rolling up the wealth like from single owners that are renting to funds that are owning lots and renting, but the renter never changes?
Yeah, exactly.
but
And
the renter can't afford, like the inflation.
But here's the thing: is it's a nominal rent increase, right? Like, so on let's say it's $2,000 a month to rent this house. They raise it to $2,100. That's 5%. That's a meaningful return for
government assistance is going to stop this year. All these like extra benefits everyone's still getting in the state of California. That's all
I
going to
think
stop.
you might get riots.
just. But it's
You
something.
just have all
needs to-
these people that are like, we're talking about spoiled Apple employees. What about like your real everyday person?
So the real everyday person, there's enough jobs available right now, right? Like that's one of the challenges, right? Everyone we know that has a workforce that requires them to have like minimum wage around that area salaries, there's no employees.
Mm-hmm.
So once the government assistant, decreases, then all of those folks, they'll have to go back to work. The problem is, unfortunately, everyone's life got more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So something will have to give, but maybe it is an increase in salaries. We haven't seen proper wage inflation in a long time.
We're not going to. So the price of meat has gone up. Do you think the average employee at a meat manufacturing place has gotten a pay increase?
Not
No
likely.
chance.
I don't know. I need to ask someone who works there.
All right. Any of our listeners at a meat factory?
I mean, I can tell you the answer is no.
You don't think a meat guy's not making 10% more?
I don't think a meat guy got a boost in the last year because of this.
Meat has been booming the last 12
No, that
months.
owner is just like,
Yeah, the owner's booming.
Shovel out the meat, boys, because daddy's making money. I guarantee you. I said what I said. But listen, I'm worried more about like the
a
sentiment.
lumber guy's not making more money.
He's transporting billions of dollars.
The lumber transporter is not.
Correct.
The lumber boss man.
Yeah, lumber boss
just bought a
man is.
vacation.
I need to look at wage inflation.
I don't think you'll see it. I don't think anything's going to come up. They're going to say, wouldn't it be nice?
And the whole, all these tertiary cities work remote. Work remote's done. Big tech has said, get your ass back in the office. You have to be in the area 3 days a week. Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, doesn't matter. So this whole fantasy that like you can live in Ogden, Utah and work for Google is over.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm not worried as much about reality, meaning like, are there jobs available? I'm worried about like just the feeling. Like I'm worried about, to me, the fact that it is hard to, I know I've said it a million times, I'm sorry to the listener. The fact that it's hard to get an Uber in Los Angeles is crazy. Whether that's like reality or not, or there's jobs there, there's jobs right there. People don't want them.
No.
People have now gotten used to a certain way of living and a certain expectation. And whether it's deserved or not, they're used to it. And there is this narrative of wealth inequality and look at all these people that are making so much money. And so they're going to be like, fuck it. And I feel like when it's like, yo, that's cut off. And now you have to go back to your job and you're going to be really bummed at what that money now gets you. People are going to lose their shit, I feel like.
It's going to come to a head soon.
But to answer your question, I don't know why, Anand, I can't work it all out. But I can tell you that history has told us that average Joe is the one holding the bag. The funds always find a way to wiggle out.
Funds win.
Everyone wiggles out.
They'll lose on this asset class, but they'll win on...
You can't spell fund without fun.
He's got a
They're always having fun.
That's true. Okay, well,
With
we'll
money.
see what happens, but might have to join Tim out in the streets with some picket signs before too long.
You want to stay far away from those streets when that happens. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Like this
You gotta
one,
pick a side, bro.
this one will be everyone. This protest will be literally everybody.
That's why I'm really surprised how on fire luxury is. Like, have rich people realized don't show signs of wealth?
No,
You have to, yeah.
Like, you're gonna get robbed.
they can't not.
They just can't help it. People can't
can't
help showing
Can't
off.
help it.
People have such insecurity issues. They cannot help.
Like like rich people should have like enclaves. Like, look, we're just robbing the
Like-
economy. Everyone, like, get
No.
rid of one.
Like we're
Louis
Rob
bag.
Gomez in Puerto Rico. He hasn't gone
Yeah,
beyond the
just go to
gates.
Puerto Rico, go behind some gates. No, they can't, bro. You can't.
Because every watch company's on fire. Every handbag manufacturer's on fire. Everyone's on fire.
I mean,
Fire's
somebody
on
got
fire.
shot. Fire's on fire. Someone got shot in Beverly Hills for their luxury watch. I bet you Beverly Hills retail is on fire. Peacocking is at an all-time high.
It's
know,
funny is
it's
I literally was talking to a retailer yesterday and they're like, I'm like, what do you account for like certain brands doing well? And she's like, peacocking.
Yeah.
She's like, peacocking is actually part of
Peacocking's
our...
more dangerous than ever, but damn it, it's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah. All right. Well, spread those feathers, guys and gals. J&J, man. So I saw, we suspended J&J again, and I was like, oh no, what now? Who got the clot? Who they found a weakness in poor J&J, but it's not any of that.
It's not.
We have too many. People aren't getting them at the speed that we're making them. They're going bad.
Yep.
So we're gonna pause.
Yeah, and I think, I saw Joe Biden talking about starting to ship vaccines to countries that need them. So
J&J,
J&J
is this a
them.
J&J particular issue because J&J is looked at as shitty, or is this a vaccine as a whole issue?
I'm sure the other pharmas are also stockpiling doses. J&J was the one that they scaled the most because it was only one shot. It was the easiest to distribute out to everyone because it was only one shot.
Yeah.
So I think J&J probably was manufactured the most, but just over half of the approximately 21 million of the J&J doses distributed in the US have been administered. So this is a lower percentage compared with Pfizer and Moderna. So, and these are expiring later this month.
Get those things out. Ship them to India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
Is there-
India doing? Are we getting over the
It's
curve?
still pretty bad.
Getting better or no?
I think it's marginally getting better.
Got
I
it.
feel like the media just stopped talking about it.
Well, let's J&J those things over there, man. No one's even taking those
I
things.
think it's important to note J&J, you still get COVID. You just don't die from it. You don't get hospitalized.
You just get it.
You get it for sure. I think the Yankees had a whole outbreak. They all had the J&J.
Yeah.
But it's still resistant.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just a magnet.
Yes, you get
J&J, here's what happens. You get COVID, it's just not so bad. Get the shot.
Moderna and Pfizer, you don't really
Bulletproof.
get it.
I know. I put Moderna to real high test. That shit's incredible. What'd you get, Jason?
Moderna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of young people don't want to do 2 shots. So
Why are
they go
young
J&J.
people, they're pussies?
Yes.
They're afraid of a second
Yes.
jab?
Exactly.
Your friends?
No.
Like, your friends, are they getting, which one are they getting?
Honestly, they're getting whatever they can get. Honestly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it, man. Public service announcement. Go get jabbed.
Yeah,
Take what you can get.
I agree.
Get the jab. It sucks that these things are piling up. But it is what it is. I will be honest. For someone who's vaccinated, I'm not sure if this is selfish or not. I don't think it is. For someone who's vaccinated, now going through my day-to-day life, it doesn't, like, I'm not worried if one person out of the 10 isn't vaccinated. It doesn't seem like there's these outbreaks happening. So whatever is happening seems to be like we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing. I mean, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to worry about.
Cough in my mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about wiggle dicks.
Yes.
And by that, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that term actually sort of blew over, but TikTok and TikTok stars.
Yeah.
Maybe some bad news. I mean, Trump brought up this TikTok ban months ago. It's sort of nothing happened. We actually joked about how nothing happened. They tried to like sell it to Oracle and do all this BS backyard boys club business.
Yeah.
So nothing happened. Everyone goes on wiggling as usual. And now Biden is, has canceled the old executive order and sort of working on new ones or has new ones, or it's coming back into the conversation.
We got some new executive orders coming into play. The first step is to evaluate the risk of apps connected to foreign adversaries. So mainly TikTok and WeChat.
Yeah.
I think like this is a long process. I think the first step is the government will go do their homework, which I mean shouldn't take too long because if we figured it out, they need to figure it out pretty quickly.
Yep.
But I think they need to my guess is they come to the same conclusion that the Trump administration came, which is TikTok can exist, but it should exist on American soil, American servers, and the entities need to be separated.
I think you got to go tougher than that. Why does it need to exist?
I agree. I just don't. I think it's too big now.
Who cares?
I'm biased because I love TikTok.
I mean, new guy is fucked if TikTok's done.
I mean,
There's no reason.
You guys got to learn like Facebook marketing to 80.
Think about how many, because young kids can't get entertained. Go on Discord, go on Snapchat.
No, but it's not about the young kids. I just think there's too much American money that's being made on TikTok now. And I think it's just...
Yeah, but I mean...
I agree. It should have been banned.
A strategic advantage that China has over the United States is they make sweeping decisions in the interest of their country swiftly and don't have the public question it.
But we don't do that.
This is easy because this has nothing to do about civil liberties. There's nothing to do about any of that.
It's not an American company.
It's not an American company. You're doing nothing by allowing it to exist. So that the Sway House can have parties?
I heard they're good parties.
I want to go to one.
People
So
say
that
they're
Bryson
great
Taylor
parties.
can pretend to be professional boxers?
A lot of good entertainment there. Keeps us from looking at UFOs.
Oh, Jake and Logan, YouTubers. American company.
I like those Americans.
I guess you could all go to YouTube Shorts and be like, fuck it.
I haven't played around with that.
Big. It's popping.
It's popping?
Big time popping.
YouTube
And
Shorts is
YouTube
bigger.
just announced like $100 million creator fund.
Wow. We need to be new guy.
We're
New
gonna
guy.
get on there.
New guy,
Are we
come
on
on,
Shorts?
YouTube. I'm
You gotta
telling
take
you,
the same videos and just
YouTube-
put them on Shorts.
YouTube could figure out Shorts because of DeepMind. DeepMind is one of the most impressive technologies that Google bought, and that's why YouTube's monetization has multitudes of what it used to be because of DeepMind's algorithm. They can figure out how to make YouTube Shorts as entertaining as TikTok.
Boom. There you go.
Boom.
America first.
Biden,
Yeah.
listen to this pod, ban TikTok, go long YouTube Shorts. If they really care about people getting entertained by TikTok, the government should fund YouTube Shorts.
I like
full
that.
China style.
New guy.
Yep.
YouTube Shorts today.
You got it.
Yeah, you really should. Yeah.
There's no.
Fuck. I love TikTok,
There's
man.
no. Hey, Drama, besides you just loving the product,
What if
which
it
I
looked
agree.
exactly the same?
It won't though.
Why?
It just won't.
These
That's
guys
why
are-
TikTok's so great.
It's like the name brand, you know?
Who clicks on YouTube and like, I mean, people do, but like, I don't. But TikTok is just so good.
I've heard the TikTok kids on BFF say they don't even like TikTok, and their whole careers.
Fuck those kids. Listen, 2 more months of our current speed, we'll be doing arena shows.
Yeah,
If you guys
seriously.
want to get rid of it, we just now got famous. Jesus, we've been doing this podcast for 4 years. People just now give a shit.
Yeah,
and you
because of
guys want to get rid of it.
TikTok.
All right. Well, yep. I think, unfortunately, Anand, I think you're right. And for the betterment of the country, I will take the L if I have to.
But what are the odds it actually gets done? 0, right?
0.
So you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. All right. Well, good luck, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe, we did it, Joe. You ready for winners losers content?
Indeed.
All right. Dee, why don't you hit us? Who is the biggest winner of the last 7 days?
My big winner is Kanye West.
What'd he do?
He's found a new bae.
New Bay already?
Yeah. He moved
Wow.
fast.
Who'd he got? Who'd he pick
He
up?
actually got Bradley Cooper's ex,
Oh, Irina.
B. Coop?
Irina Shayk.
Shake.
And they
Sure.
are gallivanting
Ooh.
for his 44th birthday in Provence, France.
Nothing like a good gallivant through France.
Yeah.
We're in France?
Provence.
Is that where the rosé is?
Yes.
Provence.
Ah.
And the pictures look like they're having a good time.
I'll be honest. I'm significantly more interested in who Kim's next.
I mean, they're still linking that rumor that she
Van?
was Van Jones.
Still?
Yeah.
I like that. I'm into it.
There was a picture she posted with like 10 guys in the background. Zach Bia was one of them, a bunch of guys.
Really?
Yeah. Tristan Thompson. Just like a lot of all the guys like that are peripheral to, in her life. It's very curious to see because like that's a big move, whoever she dates first for that guy. Because
Yeah,
it's
I'm
going
more
to change that guy's life.
Isn't that way more interesting to you than Kanye? I mean, look, Kanye's dating some super hot chick. Got it.
Yeah, we get that.
We get that.
Yeah.
We're with you.
Who's she?
Where'd she go?
Yeah, because she could go so many places.
So many places.
Do you think she is obviously an involved mother? They have 3 kids?
4, I think.
4?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So she has to actually raise the kids. Kanye can go off in France.
France.
With, like,
Well, look, I'm sure there's an army raising those
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
So they can both go to France for as long as they want.
They can go to different parts of France.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just curious. Okay. Well, there you go, Kanye. You're a winner.
Okay, plus or minus age 30 of who Kim's next bae is.
I think plus.
Oh, way plus.
Gotta go plus.
I think it'll be 40s.
New brand, Kim, studying for the bar.
Yeah.
You gotta go plus. If you
She's
go
not
negative,
fucking around
All
with
right, so let's throw some
Van
names out.
Jones.
Other than Van. We've all talked about Van.
who's like a good looking like thought leader.
THOT.
No.
Oh.
Like someone that's smart but it's also good looking. That's the problem. Those don't exist. They're usually pretty ugly.
Usually, if you're doing all that thinking, it's because
Yeah.
you can't get away with being pretty.
Yeah, you should think about looking better.
Nothing encourages thinking like being ugly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say any of these things. Oh my God. I don't know, man. I really don't know. That's why I'm so into it.
It's got to be someone 40 plus. Like, imagine if like Malcolm Gladwell was good looking, but he's not. So he has no shot.
Maybe she dates Malcolm Gladwell. I don't know.
I'm just saying, but like,
know.
he's just like,
I don't know. I'm
You
trying
can't
in
be-
trouble. This is why I'm so into it. It's sort of like the Logan Paul Mayweather fight. What really happens? I don't know.
who's like a
Anything could
thoughtful
happen.
rocker? Like an older rock star that's like pretty thoughtful.
Bono.
Yeah.
Bono's
Married,
married.
probably.
I don't know, man. This is why it's so exciting.
Yeah.
It could be anybody. All right.
Bono's on brand.
Bono's on brand because they could go change the world.
Yeah.
But a younger Bono, who's like a 44-year-old Bono.
I don't know. What about
Chris Martin.
Gwen Stefani's ex?
Who's that?
I don't know. I think he's a rock star guy, isn't he?
Gwen Stefani's ex. I don't remember. Is he married to Blake Shelton?
No, but before that, she was
Isn't it?
Gavin.
Rosdale.
Yeah, I don't think he's smart.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Try my
that's
best,
why
man.
she's not linked to any names.
This
It's
is why it's so
impossible.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
She going down the list. He goes, "Oh, that
She's like,
guy's
God,
ugly. He's
Malcolm
poor.
Gladwell."
He's stupid." It's really hard.
Thank God it's not A-Rod. I'd get really bummed if it was A-Rod.
No way. She's not hanging out. With
No
A-Rod.
chance. She wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll find out soon enough, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Okay.
Anand, who's your winner?
My winner's Bronny.
What did Lil Bronny do?
Lil Bronny's on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Just like Dad, huh?
Just like
Just
that.
like Dad
Duncan?
20 years ago.
Mid-dunk.
Yeah, just the chosen one.
Sierra Canyon represents.
Except he's gaming with the FaZe Clan.
He's gaming on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
With FaZe Rug, who you know, right?
Yeah.
So a couple other
Swag.
FaZe.
I think Nick Merckx.
And then Kyler Murray, who is a,
Football player.
football player, quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, one of like the bright young NFL players, and Bronny and the FaZe Clan
I like it.
are on the cover of Sports Illustrated gaming, and then the next picture is them like in the weight room. So is gaming now like fitness too?
Yeah, you're gonna have to box soon.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's a good, great point.
But it's just the irony. 20 years ago, LeBron is on the cover with this crazy dunk saying the chosen one, that he's going to be the next great NBA player, which he actually ended up being.
Yep.
So Bronny's now on the cover for gaming.
But can we talk about that? Like, ultimately, I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. But think about the fact that to a young kid, you now see, we talked about this, but the path to becoming an NBA star is so rare. It's such incredibly hard work. You
It's
dedicate
impossible.
your life to it. It's impossible. And the work is insane. Gaming you can do tomorrow. and so you're seeing a kid who has he has the path open to him. He has all the talent. He has everything. But he's being represented first. The way he won and was on the cover of Sports Illustrated is as a gamer, not as a
Basketball player.
So you're like, fuck basketball practice,
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah.
Pass the dew. I'm going downstairs and fucking locking in with my bros.
I'll be back in
Lock in
3
is-
days.
I'm locked in, Mom. I'm fire up the Ethernet. I'm fucking, like, why would you bother?
I agree.
Who would want to do all that work?
If money and fame is important to you, sports is just too fucking hard.
Too hard.
The way that the youth exists today, who would want to train to be a professional athlete?
Nobody.
Nobody. Literally nobody. Not even Bronny.
He has all the gifts in the world.
And by the way,
He was
wealth
dunking
is
on
already
money.
done. It's taken care of for Bronny.
Yep.
And it's really just
So that's a good test of like, what do you want to be?
passion.
Yep.
It's true passion.
I mean, he'll get more views on Discord than he will in the NBA. So if you just
For sure. Plus, you got to be like a star. Like, I don't even know who to reference as a funny joke as a lower level star, because how hard did fifth guy on the team work?
Oh, insane.
Give me an example.
like Kyle Kuzma?
Kyle Kuzma's who I was going to say, but he has a little bit of like fashion. Like people kind of care. Like who's a guy?
Caruso.
Who's a guy that just worked his fucking ass
Caruso.
off? Okay,
Alex Caruso.
so
yeah.
worked his ass off his whole life. Got beat up, like meaning like you know how it feels, sore, all that stuff. No one gives a shit when you could go be like literally the number 100 gamer and like you have
Popping.
Twitch people popping,
Yeah.
subscribing.
You probably cannot walk down a street in a suburban town.
Put
'cause you're too
Caruso
famous.
next to the number 100 Twitch streamer gamer and walk him through a mall, you would be blown away.
It's the work professional athletes do. I just don't see how that's appealing to young people.
So what happens? We talked about this with Jad, with movie stars. We're now talking about it with athletes. Like, do you see them, like, do they make less money eventually because advertising goes more to these places? Is there less enrollment? Same way we talked about like with football, like people are going to stop enrolling their kids because it's so dangerous. Do kids are they over it?
So the one thing, to be fair,
Okay.
I don't think there's one gamer on earth that makes more than the number one basketball player in America.
yeah, no chance.
They're not making that much money yet. So until that,
Yeah, like LeBron's going to be a billionaire.
Okay, but what about
if he's not already?
So what if you don't go number 10 or number 1? Like what about 10 and below?
so if you're
Like what's the number 10 basketball player?
Like there are basketball players that you and I have never heard of making $7 million a year. That's still considerably more than the average FaZe Clan member.
Okay, but then my next question would be, does advertising, we keep talking about how ratings are down and the season's kind of an old model and there's so many games.
But there's gambling. That's the problem. Gambling's
the saving grace of sports, because all regular seasons, with the exception of NFL, are completely broken. No one wants to watch regular season NBA. The players don't even want to play. No one wants to 162 baseball games. No one wants to do that. Hockey, I don't even know who watches hockey other than Tim.
Wow.
What about is the next generation gambling on Fortnite tournaments instead of basketball?
You can do
So is this like 20 years out? I'm saying
my book, I can bet on esports.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know like who I'm betting on.
Just pick a random one. Yeah, just a phase, whatever. Bet on that one. I just wonder. It really looks to me like you're looking at maybe like a 20-year trend then, where like being a superstar athlete is sort of a more obscure career path. That turns into more like gaming, and gaming turns into. I mean, you got to think about it. If you're a kid looking at Bronny on the cover of a magazine being represented, and they signed Ben Simmons,
Juju Smith,
You're saying to yourself, that is what I want to be.
So in high school, it really comes down to, for guys at least, a lot of motivation is girls. So if you're the star quarterback, let's say you're not Bronny on Sierra Canyon.
I don't know if that ever changed. I don't know if girls are ever like, yo, I saw you on
Twitch
last night. Crazy thumb.
100% nowadays. Like,
really?
I see, because the only social media guys to keep up with really are like the FaZe guys, just because like I grew up on them. I was like 12 watching them.
Yeah.
And like,
you were 12? How old are you now?
21.
They've not been around 9 years.
They've been around since 2010, 2011. That's when they started. It was like just Call of Duty. That was the only video game they played. And then they just blew up on YouTube.
We just don't know.
So yeah, at Sierra Canyon.
Let him finish this.
Here's the question though. Sierra Canyon, there's Bronny and then there's everyone else. Even though there's some like better players on the team.
Right.
Is the everyone else more sought after or a FaZe member?
FaZe member over everybody else. Well, but that said, Sierra Canyon, I feel like every kid there is like a 5-star recruit and like yeah. So probably about equal, I'd say.
But at your school, if there was a FaZe kid,
blown up. Yeah. Number one most popular kid in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, maybe not 10 years ago when I was in high school.
Even with girls?
Yeah. Nowadays.
Yeah.
So girls a high school girl would value your gaming skills and I guess platform on Discord and whatever.
Physique.
I love how your belly feels after 16 hours of gaming.
I love how squishy you are. Good for cuddling.
But there's a lot of girls too that like are trying to do gaming and like have a platform online. Like there's thousands.
No, I get that. We're just talking more on the social element.
Who wants to be the star quarterback getting your ass sacked and tackled when you can just get on Twitch?
Well, by the way, if you're a star high school quarterback, what are there at your games? 200 people. If you're a shit ball on Twitch, you're getting 1,000 people.
Yeah. I really feel like that is a way bigger moment than it seems in like the transition of things, of what kids want to be when they grow up.
Yeah. It's
because why wouldn't you? It's so fun. All you do is go downstairs, plug in the headset, call people racial slurs, and fucking run around with your friends.
When I was 13, I remember back in the day, you could only have up to 100 friends on your friends list. So a lot of FaZe members
on what channel?
On Xbox.
Okay.
A lot of FaZe members, they would like sell friend list ads for like $20. So I bought one of the FaZe members and had me on his friends list for like $20. I was like 13. I thought I was the coolest kid ever.
Wow.
Yeah. See?
There he is.
There he is. And that was a while ago.
What would that have been the equivalent when I was 13?
Probably like a signed Kobe hat or something.
Yeah.
And just say
standing in line for an autograph.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
My winner is our favorite event of the year.
Ooh.
And that is Coachella.
Yes.
Coachella is finally back. I thought maybe we might never see it again. I thought you're not going to squeeze out an October Coachella. I thought, oh my gosh, you're seeing Lollapalooza, you're seeing Rolling Loud. Where's our beloved Coachella?
Yeah.
It's back. They're taking their time. They'll be back in April, normal time, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Tickets are gone.
Tickets are long gone.
Yeah.
So good luck.
I'm on StubHub right now. You can get in the building for general admission, $620. You can get VIP for about $1,200.
Wow, GA used to be $300, right?
Well, no, this is resale.
Oh, resale.
Resale.
I don't think that's a big enough jump. Like 600 for GA, 1,200 for
Yeah,
VIP.
so if you're
the difference
thinking-
of experience, spend the money.
Yeah, if you're thinking about going, you spend the money. Work a little harder, drive a couple more Ubers, and splurge on the 1,200. It's such a different experience.
It is, yeah. Okay. And so we're sold out. We're back. We're good. We're back to it. I'll tell you, this weekend I'm actually going to go like sort of just relive.
Scout it out.
I'm going to go scout it out. I'm going to go stay at one of our favorite Coachella
Yeah.
houses and just kind of feel the vibe.
You should ask the landlord
Yep.
what
To hold
the
it?
prices are, because I've heard people already booking houses.
Maybe
It's
I'll say how-
astronomical.
Maybe I'll say I'll give you a deposit now
Yeah.
if you lock me in at this rate.
Yeah. I bet you the rate it will shock you. It'll be more than what we've paid in the past.
You know, it's going
And
to be
By like a lot.
bananas.
I think
By
it's
like-
like 25, 30%.
Yeah, inflation.
Because think about it, all this pent up energy plus a whole year past 2 years.
2 years.
Oh my God. You're going to have like all these kids that have just heard about it.
You know what we have to do?
TikToking.
We have to make sure that the country's still locked down, that for foreign visitors, they're going to drive the prices up.
Look at you. You're like the Trump of Coachella. She's trying to keep
You
the
have to be
foreigners out
born.
of Coachella.
You have to live in California to go to Coachella.
So
you can't
true.
come otherwise. That's my new rule.
At least weekend one. Go weekend two.
Weekend 2, you can let it for everybody else. The others.
All right.
The others.
Build that wall, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they had a third weekend? Because demand's through the roof.
And they should do 5. Like when Jay-Z does like
10
the
shows in a
Garden
row.
and it's like 10 in a row, you should do that.
You could do Coachella all summer next year, and every weekend would be sold out.
Yeah, I'm into it. All right.
Weekend 13, who's going?
Yeah.
I spent $2 million.
Yeah, for real. Okay, well, there you go. Coachella's my winner. Here's my quick loser. It's too obvious, and I apologize for the lack of creativity, but good old DJT, Donald J. Trump, even though he's kicked off of all social media, is still doing like rally type things, talking about how the election was stolen.
Wow.
This guy's still going. And
Wow.
and there's word, I don't usually trust these things, but there's word that like he's telling the people around him he thinks he'll be reinstated. Like I
Yeah.
feel like he's
In
went full-
August.
Yeah.
No, that's the QAnon. Trump's
I
coming
think
back
he
in
went
August.
kind of like QAnon. Like I think he believes the hype a little.
Well, I think it definitely works well with his.
If we have 15% of the country that's QAnon,
Lean in.
yeah.
What's her name?
Cheryl, where is she?
She leaned out big time.
That is the biggest mystery of all time.
I got to be honest, it upsets me because I think she was so great and like what she stood for and like I do this, I offset Zuckerberg and I blah blah blah, and then like shit starts to get a little hairy and you literally do not hear from her. I'm sure she's working her ass off. I'm not trying to bash her. I'm sure she's great, but like we need you.
Yeah.
I mean, Zuck's throwing spears.
Literally.
Yes.
Where's Cheryl? She's like, put the spear down. Mark. Let's put on the sunscreen. All right.
Oh, I have my loser. I found it. Mine was pretty much everyone that does direct marketing advertising on the internet.
It's over, right?
That's the iOS.
Yeah.
Just tank
I mean,
everyone.
I'll tell you, today I got the new update that Apple released, and when I was launching every single one of my apps, it says they ask you, do you allow?
Can we watch everything you do?
So, and obviously no one says yes.
Yeah.
Everyone says no.
Yeah,
and every
the
time
question, the prompt is, do you want to be
Literally.
tracked?
Yeah.
Do you not want
Yeah.
to be tracked?
Do you mind if Mark watches? Is
Yeah.
the problem.
and they should put a picture of him and then guarantee nobody.
Yeah,
ever-
just doing this in your screen.
So that I think like every time I hit ask an app not to track, I feel like I'm crushing a D2C business.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
One
loser,
e-commerce business
loser.
dies every time you click no. Yep, I agree. And even there was even an issue with Instagram for us yesterday where like our story mentions weren't showing
Loading?
up. Like I just feel like it's putting everything into a tizzy.
Yeah.
Do you think it matters for Facebook long term? I don't think it matters at all.
No, because I think big companies who don't care about direct attribution like we do, they're buying impressions.
Yeah, so I
TV
think,
money
do you
is
think
gonna-
it's almost intentional to switch it to brand marketing, which is way bigger than D2C marketing?
I don't think it's intentional only because Apple would never intentionally do anything to help Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think just like the hedge funds, Facebook's always going to find a way to win. It's just how do they adapt, and that will probably be.
Yeah, I think they ultimately win because the TV dollars will finally flow to Facebook
Yeah.
because
If you think about it, it's still smarter than TV.
Yeah.
Still smarter, even with the lack of all that information.
Mhm.
It's still a smarter spend that broadly
Yeah.
than it is like betting on, Modern Family is your audience.
what?
Yeah.
marketing exec goes, "Yeah, we should spend $100 million on ABC this year."
Someone at the Super Bowl going to
Most
the
of
game.
them, the guys at the Super Bowl in the box. Like, so what'd you
In
spend
an era
on?
of like DVR, Netflix,
Yeah.
where you don't need to watch the commercial.
Because they don't actually care. They're just trying to hit their metrics and collect their paycheck. They don't actually care.
Yeah, no one cares.
That's why the people who are so hungry who hacked it is this new generation of people who've figured out how to use all of this data to build. So you're fighting, it's David against Goliath, right?
Mhm.
But the only way you knew how to win is because you had this unique opportunity of all this data. Now that's gone. So now you're just going to get Pepsi ads.
GM.
But Facebook, I think they'll be fine. I think who loses here are those small businesses that had the ability to be really smart and savvy and launch
Yeah.
with nothing.
Like the
because you
small
could figure
DTC
that out.
brands, yeah.
Loser? Do we
Too
have
many
loser?
bags. I have no loser.
Too many
Okay.
bags, man.
Everyone's
Things are
got a
good.
bag.
Yeah.
I looked hard for a loser this week.
That's fair. Fair enough. I like that. Very optimistic. Content recommendations?
My content recommendation is, God, what is his name of the show I started watching? Fuck. I have
Okay,
bad
must not
memory
be that
today.
good.
I totally blanked.
That means you don't even really like it.
No, I liked it.
This is a fake content recommendation.
Okay, fine. Then I don't like it. I have nothing to recommend.
Anand.
It's a podcast that I've mentioned a few times here. It's called Business Breakdowns.
Is
It's
that the one where they did Chipotle and stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about that.
And it's an extension of Patrick O'Shaughnessy and his whole like kind of form of education. And they just released one on Pinduoduo, which is a social commerce company from China.
Mhm.
It's absolutely incredible. I firmly believe if you listen to Group Chat, Patrick O'Shaughnessy, Business Breakdowns, you don't need to go to college.
No.
That I
MBA
started
is
listening to it.
irrelevant.
That shit's amazing.
Pinduoduo, for people who don't know, it's a company that started in 2015 in China. 2016, I think, has 800 million users. It's bigger than Alibaba and JD in terms of like how much commerce they're doing.
Yep.
It's absolutely mind-blowing, and too bad the CEO got sidelined.
He did. Too big. Take a seat.
Take a seat.
Yep.
But the business is fascinating, and you're going to see so many companies in the US start copycatting what's going on in China rather than vice versa.
Yeah.
TikTok's a great example of that.
Agreed. Okay, there you have it. My content recommendation, it's a little nerdy, but there's a podcast that I found by Andrew Huberman called the Huberman Lab. And he's a professor at, I believe, Stanford, and I think probably, sorry for my lack of information, but neurology or something. But just does really good breakdowns of like what type of exercise actually helps you build muscle, what type builds endurance, and why that works. Food, stress and anxiety. It's just really interesting. He does a really good job at breaking down really complex lessons, and it's just him talking into the microphone, and it's really interesting. I listened to it for like 2 hours yesterday, so check it out.
Where do you
All
find it?
Everywhere where podcasts are, I think. I'm on Apple Podcasts, but it's on Spotify too.
Any particular exercise that
And
stood out?
YouTube. What stood out? No, not without making one up. It was more just like, for me, I like understanding why, like how people say lift heavier weights, less reps to build more bulk, and lift lower weights, more reps to build more. It's not that clean. Like there's a lot of like cliches that people say that aren't necessarily true. There's also, there's a lot of things that are like in this new age of like hippie sort of mindfulness that just isn't true.
Mhm.
And there's sort of a reason why like you can make it close to true, but like it's just not how it works. And so he does a good job at like saying, look, that's not exactly how it works, but like here is how it works that is still applicable.
I was told yesterday, don't skip leg day. Biggest muscle, that's where you release testosterone.
Yeah. That's what I didn't know. I didn't really realize how much it increases testosterone to do a heavy leg workout.
Yeah.
But in particular, like he goes as deep as like heavy leg workout, no less than 2-minute break in between, blah, blah, blah. And you can like really ramp up a lot of good hormone production. Definitely don't skip leg day. Okay, that is all we got. Do we have any shout outs? Are we racing?
We got a shout out.
We have 2 shout outs, actually.
Okay.
So first, we have one from Nicole Woodworth. She says, "Hey, group chat. Been a fan of the pod for about a year, thanks to my fiance, Jordan. So it's only fitting that I shout him out on his birthday, June 11th.
Nice.
And if that isn't exciting enough, we're saying I do to each other just days later on June 19th.
Wow.
I can't wait to spend a lifetime with my best friend and the love of my life. You guys can be rest assured that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings will be spent listening to you guys in our new home."
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
All that I ask is that you raise
Congratulations.
your children on group chat and just see what happens. I'm not saying it'll be positive. I'm just curious.
And then,
Okay, shout out to Nicole.
and then we have a second shout out. Sean, a friend of the pod, OG Kathy, and the person who sent chat our way, started Catalyst in August of 2020 with blue light blockers.
Oh.
He sponsored our first annual group chat awards and is always taking care of our Menlo House Insiders group. Well, Kathy's Catalyst is launching their first pair of sunglasses called the Sunrise
Oh, I got him on now.
on July
Nice.
1st.
Nice.
Direct to consumer and only $25 per pair.
Wow.
Polarized lenses to protect your eyes and numerous styles will be dropping soon too. And he says, "Yes, Dee, I will offer a discount code for listeners on July 1st. Code GROUPCHAT for 20% off. And we
Wow.
will send out a special code to the Facebook Menlo House Insiders group to get their sunglasses even earlier with a bigger discount."
Wow.
Most
These are
importantly,
polarizing as fuck.
He said hook up the intern with the pair of glasses.
That's right.
I just got him, so I'll give the new guy glasses.
I appreciate that. And then he says, lastly, shout out to you guys. Thanks for all the insight, knowledge, and entertainment every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now for his winners, losers, and content recommendations. He just says, just kidding.
Thank you.
But that's what Sean has to say. Catalyst, Sunrise, July 21st, $25, and lots of offers coming out. And at the end, he says, "Peace, Sean."
Shout out to you, Sean. And
Yeah.
peace to you also.
Great shout out.
I have a shout out from another Sean. This is Sean Graham. Says, "Hey Tim, I have a shout out. And now that Pete is back to being a Kathy, I'm hoping you can come through for me. I need to give a shout out to the whole group chat pod team. I gave everyone a shout out about 6 months ago as the pod inspired me to launch my business. 6 months later, I just worked my last day of my day job and I'm running my business Clothes by Graham full time now.
Amazing.
The podcast has helped me help me out in numerous ways that I can apply to my business while also being entertaining. A rare combo. Side note, I currently have beef with Dee, Anand, and Drama.
It's all three of us.
Dee.
Why are you listening, bro?
Yeah.
Dee, the Clippers beat the Mavs, so I gotta pay up on our bet. While the Young and Reckless Clippers jacket looks great. I can't bear the thought of repping the Clippers. Can I buy a Lakers jacket instead to make good on our bet?
No, Sean.
I'll throw a thirst trap pick on the gram for you. Apparently Anand is too big time to check his IG DMs now.
Yeah.
I slid into his DMs hoping to get 15 minutes of his time for some financial advice, but he
Hell
hasn't
no.
checked his DMs.
You got to move the new guy.
Would love to pick Anand's brain on a
Goes to
few
the
topics.
moon.
Yeah. Come on.
Clover
Everything's
to the
coupon
moon.
here.
Drama. I don't have beef with Drama, but
Thank
he's
you.
probably not even here listening to this right now and is off somewhere not recording new episodes of Short Story Long.
That's good. That's good. I almost left.
I actually have a shout out. I'm not going to say the name because he took our advice 8 months ago. He's in Ohio and he picked up 2 different software engineering jobs that each pay 6 figures because of work from home.
And the one doesn't know about the other?
Correct.
All right, man.
What a
There
scammer.
you go, you little scammer. Get yourself some Coachella VIP
I mean,
tickets.
2 6-figure jobs in Ohio, you're a king, right?
Yeah.
King.
Literally, King James.
King. You could buy a Bentley. Just cruise around and be a king. Okay. Is that it?
That's the shout outs.
Race?
I love race. It's always a big topic for a lot of people.
All of them or some of them?
Some of them, particularly this one, grandrunningclub.com.
Nice. There's
Head
only one
over.
race you like, huh?
Yeah. 5K, 10K, half marathon. Time to sign up. Look, a lot of you quarantine 15 folks
Yeah.
out here buying new clothes because you got fat.
Mm-hmm.
Time to lose it all. You can lose it all in 6 weeks. I'm going to be in peak form while you're going to be buying bigger clothes.
Yeah, it's true.
grandrunningclub.com. Sign up, join. Look good. Feel good. And if you want to run, you can run anywhere in the world. So there's a virtual race. So you could be anywhere. So
I mean, fuck it. Get a bike, fire up the Nike Running Club app, and win the race.
yeah, win the race.
I ran a 2-minute mile.
or come to Santa Monica and run with us.
Yeah, no, that's
We're going to have a big
perfect.
party.
Okay. Well, there you go. Guys, thank you for listening. Everyone have an incredible weekend. We'll see you on Sunday.